everybody. Welcome to We're All Dead. That's right, the podcast where two guys you've never heard of talk about things you never imagined before.
Bonjour, Chris.
Yes. Bonjour, Matt.
Yeah, so all that silliness we've been doing with our podcast, that's over because I'm French now.
Yes. Okay,
And-
we're changing it up completely. I thought we were going to just keep doing the same cool thing that we were already doing.
Well, I was actually just going to kind of move on without you.
Okay. Wow.
I have some
News to me.
philosopher friends that I met in France.
Oh, yeah, that's right. You drank wine with Camus.
Yep, Albert Al Camus.
You're not that French. It's Albert, you son of a biscuit.
He asked me to call him that. Dude, so I just got back from France just over 24 hours ago.
You're still jet
fucking
lagged. You're like, why am I doing this right now?
Oh my goodness. Flew into France for the holidays. We decided to skip the holidays in America.
Yeah, honestly, you're a genius for that, because
It's the first time I've ever done it. It was pretty sweet to wake up and be like, oh, I don't have to go and see multiple families.
Yeah, all right. You're playing 4D chess here.
You buy Christmas gifts at the duty-free shop in the Paris airport on your way out. Bing bong.
Everybody in the family gets a model of the Eiffel Tower keychain.
Yes.
Just a keychain. That's all you guys get.
Dude, they make more Eiffel Tower keychains than they do baguettes. It's insane how many there are in every shop.
I'm sure.
In certain places.
Yeah. Well, all right. So it wasn't just any old trip to France for the holidays. You were there for like 2 weeks.
Yes.
You were there for like
weeks.
an insane amount of time.
So we flew in to Paris, but we didn't stay there right away. We jumped on a train immediately and went to Strasbourg. Strasbourg is on the German border. And it's literally, I think it's from our Airbnb, it was a 1 mile walk to Germany.
Did you walk to Germany? Did you cross the border on foot?
I didn't. I was that close and I didn't. I was too busy drinking Vin Chaud, aka hot wine in France.
I'm sorry, Vin Chaud? Chode?
You
said you were drinking chode wine instead of going into Germany. It was right there.
But they all flood across to Strasbourg. I mean, so I think, first of all, there is a Strasbourg, Germany. It's the same city. It's literally all connected. Pretty much the same.
Yeah, there's a border that runs in between the town, and there's a little. You think there's a sign or like a little gate, a barrier, a fence, or do you think they're just like, eh?
So it's a major river. I think it's the Rhine. So so they can have
natural barrier.
So they have the National Policia at the fucking Nazis at the bridge.
I love hearing you try to say them, but with no confidence. You're like,
I just gave up.
National Policia.
The Garda.
Is that Spanish?
It is. I actually know Spanish way more than I know French. But then I would run into people, they're from Spain, and I don't understand them because I learned American fun Spanish.
Yeah, you're American enough where you don't really speak any other language, but you can kind of almost recognize the language that they're speaking, unless it's like Estonian or something. Like any of the Eastern European things that sound like Russian, you're gonna be like,
Yes.
I have no idea where you're from.
Oh, and I'll get to that'll come back in a minute.
Oh, there's a story about Russians.
No.
Oh,
Yeah, dude, I killed 4 of them.
oh God,
I'm just helping. I'm helping. What are you talking about?
you're helping.
Ukraine. What are you talking about?
I mean, are you
They were
politically
4
on the side of Ukraine? You do not support Vladimir Putin?
There were 4 80-year-old Russian women, and I was like, they're spies. We have to dispatch them immediately. No, you do hear every single language in the entire world. It's awesome.
Yeah. No, it's
So
great.
Strasbourg is known for its massive Christmas markets, which are literally over, like, they're every few blocks across the entire town, and they shut down most of the streets. And so everyone is just walking around drinking and buying trinkets for family members.
I perked up when you said drinking.
Yes.
They're
And
just
then,
walking around like just
so
open containers.
you can walk around
like New Orleans.
Turns out you can do that across the entire country. I had no idea. Did you know that?
I did not know that.
You can ask. So you can't get food to go there. It's a cultural thing, but you can get a beer to go anywhere you want, or wine, or so they just sell hot wine at the Christmas market. Every square has 5 hot wine booths, and everyone is just chugging hot wine, walking around.
Wow.
Hot wine's surprisingly good. I wouldn't think making red wine 150 degrees would be tasty, but it's quite good.
Yeah. Do they put, like, I'm assuming they put a bunch of spices in it, and like
It's
mulled wine is that's a thing, right? Yeah.
It is that, I believe.
Oh, okay, good.
Yes. And
I
then
have
you can
a
also
touch point to understand you.
So, and because Christmas is very associated with the German culture over there, you can also buy pretzels everywhere.
Ooh.
So my wife was in heaven because that's her favorite food.
And are they big pretzels, or are they the crispy ones?
No. Well, no, they're the big ones.
Okay.
And because it's France, you can get them filled with fromages. So you can get like a goat cheese filled pretzel that you're just like, ugh, like it's so creamy and ridiculous. Also, they don't pasteurize their dairy, so it tastes better.
They don't pasteurize it.
That's the key to their
Or
cheese.
It's
and
not
butter
required to pasteurize. Well,
no,
it makes more sense because cheese is like the process of making cheese is introducing certain bacterias that help.
I believe so.
Yeah,
you age it.
That good bacteria. You age it. It's like, yeah. So having more natural bacteria gives it more feed and more funk to give it that.
Yeah, I mean, you can see the colonies growing on some of it, the wheels of cheese and shite.
Isn't the blue part of blue cheese is just the moldy crap that's in there?
Yeah, it's
so gross.
Someone was just like, I'm gonna go for it, and then ate it, and then it was like, damn, that was a good move.
Some dude was hungry enough to be like, I'll eat the moldy cheese.
I'll eat it.
That was sitting in that cave for a year.
Like Spartacus. I'll eat the cheese.
I don't know the story of Spartacus well enough to confirm or deny.
I am Spartacus. I am Spartacus. The whole
I
town stands up and says, "There's
I
Spartacus.
will eat the cheese.
I will
Spartacus.
die." So yeah, we partied these Christmas markets. Super cool. Then we took a 1-day trip to Basel, Switzerland, which is like an hour away by train down I guess it's the valley between the two mountain ranges there along that river. Which include, I guess it's part of the Alps, I think. So, we get to Basel, Switzerland. I wish I had done any research, dude. I went there. I was like, I'm not studying
research
anything.
whatsoever.
No, I'm not learning French. I'm not doing.
You're
anything.
like, no, I am
I'll pick it
drunk
up.
and I'm eating goat cheese pretzels in Switzerland right now. I'm not gonna do any research.
Duvin showed, s'il vous plaît. um, so we get to Switzerland. I know very little about Switzerland. I've just heard it's cool.
Yeah.
Basel's like a really sweet little town that I guess they're two big monuments or two giant churches that like face each other, like across the whole city.
Dueling churches.
They're both beautiful. Went inside of one of them. They're pretty stunning. Oh, by the way, the church that's like the center basilica or whatever in Strasbourg is made by the same architect who designed the Notre Dame. And it's like the fact that you made two things that are this huge and crazy in one lifetime is wild because it's insane looking.
Yeah.
So anyways, in Basel, went
did
to
they
another
just have-
market.
So when they built all of those big things, I'm assuming that they just had like they built temporary scaffolding to like build the actual structure, and they had to bring everything up by hand or rope or whatever.
I mean, it's pretty much exactly the way we would make them, which they just redid. They rebuilt all of Notre Dame.
They did. Are they done with it in Paris?
It is open to the public, but they are still working on part of it. So still scaffolding. But it's like, so besides the cranes we use, I don't think there's much difference in how they do stonework and woodwork.
Yeah. Yeah, I know.
And Notre Dame, they had to do it exactly like it was done. So they had to do it with
the old school way.
I think like hand cut nails, like shit like that. Which is pretty wild.
Yeah. That is no wonder it took 5 years, because when I was there in
5 years of full backing of the government and private organizations, and I mean,
that restoration was huge,
expensive.
It was in 2019 when we were there for my honeymoon. It had just happened, and they were like, we walked by it. Oh, did you go to that sandwich shop that I sent you?
Oh, we'll get to that.
Okay. Sorry. We're just got to Switzerland, and I'm asking.
It's perfect.
Paris already.
Oh, okay. No, that's a great teaser, guys. Because fuck this fucking guy. Now continue, Chris.
He might have been the same guy that had my sandwich. Okay.
No. Oh no, you have no clue. All right.
God. Okay.
So, anyways, Switzerland, fun. People who actually speak. When you hear them speak their language, it's duper boopel, and then you're like, "What the hell?" I have no context. They speak 4 official languages, so you'll hear conversations where people just keep changing the language until they both find the one that they're good at speaking. It's so funny,
and
very impressive.
That's so bizarre. I love it.
So it's like, they'll just go English, French, German, Swiss. It's just like, oh, cool. Oh, that's where I found Cafe Barf. I'll drop the video in right here.
Yeah.
So
it's up there for you. Yeah, that was really stupid, and I loved it.
I don't know what Barfy means, but Cafe Barfy I found in Basel.
Yeah.
Anyways, dude, I think, so we were just out and about on Christmas Eve, fucking woke up in Strasbourg for Christmas Day, took a train to another city because its markets were still open on Christmas Day. A little town called Colmar. It was just lovely. Colmar looks like a gingerbread house. The whole place is gingerbread houses, but they're real. That's where people live. And then after that, we went to Montmartre. That's when we went to Paris. And Montmartre is where, like, all these famous artists stayed. You know, like Dali, Picasso, a bunch of douches stayed there. And it's funny the reverence to which, like, they're like, Picasso, this was his first studio. And it's like, you mean this is the neighborhood where he got drunk and like fell down the stairs? It's fucking just a dude.
Yeah. Oh,
great
just
work.
a really cool dude.
you have to remember these guys were fucking silly geeses.
Yeah. I mean,
Dude, Salvador Dali was a lunatic.
oh
Uh, and
boy, was he ever.
his shit was just like half of his art is like a joke. It's just a straight up joke.
Yeah.
Like he's making fun of us somehow.
Yeah. Yeah,
But
I
it's
think
great. I mean,
even
it's
like very
amazing.
early on, like I know a lot of contemporary artists get like, the guy that taped a banana to the wall in
Oh yeah,
2024.
he's pissed
The
off
guy,
at everyone.
he just was like, this is how stupid art is. You can
Yeah,
tape a banana to a wall and people will auction, like, you can auction this off and someone will pay millions of dollars
I
for it,
think it was like 4 or 5 million
which
for
is
that,
insane.
with instructions of how to replace the banana. It's
Right,
like
right. Yeah.
he's like,
That
take
was
another
that was
tape.
part of it, so the banana wouldn't go bad. And then
Yeah,
like I don't know, the guy who bought the art piece ate the banana.
of course.
And
You have to,
it was like it was still a good banana.
dude.
Still a good banana, even though he bought it like, I don't know, 6 months before. It was still an edible banana. So I was like, is it?
Dude, that is so.
Was it worth it? Is my question. But
Well, Dali
I
has a one of Dali's most famous sculpture pieces is lobster telephone. It's just a lobster instead of a telephone sitting on a phone cradle. And it's great because it just says on the plaque, like, all the plaques are very serious, and it's like he just replaced the telephone with a lobster and called it lobster telephone. It's so stupid, but it's funny. And it says on the plaque, though, it goes, the genitals of the lobster are where the mouthpiece is, so you have to speak into its genitals. I was like, obviously he was just making fun of shit with this. It's great.
yeah. He was like, how silly can I possibly be? Ah, yes. Let me put a lobster on a telephone and call it lobster telephone. No, it's not going to have a metaphorical title. It's going to just be
Yeah.
lobster telephone.
Yeah. It's like, if anyone looks into it, you're an idiot. Like, you're an asshole. You try to act like it's smart.
Yeah, but the plaques were like super serious. Like, this was
Every
during
time.
his experimental phase when
It's a rebellion
he-
against form. Which is just like nothing. That means nothing.
yeah.
So his
God.
everyone should look up his portrait of Lincoln is really great. He was, I assume, commissioned to make a portrait of Lincoln. So he basically redrew the very famous portrait of Lincoln, but he drew it as mosaics with like smaller pictures inside of it. So
Oh.
when you squint your eyes, it looks like the original portrait.
Uh-huh.
But the portrait is like a naked woman in a hallway, and like her ass is his nose, and like all this wild shit. But then it's so funny because one of the tiny mosaics that make up the Lincoln is the portrait of Lincoln. He redrew it, like it's like an inch by an inch, and he redrew it just to prove that he could actually do it. It's inside of the bigger piece. I was like, this is awesome.
Yeah.
It's very good.
It's reminding me a lot of like all of the art talk that's in various Vonnegut books where and one in particular was, I think, Bluebeard, that novel where it's all about like the abstract expressionist artist.
Right.
And he's like, yeah, here's my new painting. He's like a Rothko kind of guy, or not Jackson Pollock, but like some of those other guys who just like, it's a canvas that is orange and that's
Right.
it.
Right.
And he's like, a lot of people think that because that this is stupid, and he's like, it is. It's an expression from he's like trying to defend it a little bit, but it is stupid. he admits it kind of like throughout that, like the over explaining of it in like the Vonnegut way that he does that.
Right.
It's pretty great. Where it's like he's saying that it's not stupid, but it is.
He
He
just backs into being like, it is
also like
stupid as fuck.
Yeah, they think that you're not like you're not good at art if you do something like that. And he's like, but no, like he goes back to his training and he's like he had to like do a photorealistic painting of his like the artist that he was apprenticing under. He had to do like a photorealistic painting of that guy's studio, and it took him like 5 years to get it right before his teacher was like, you okay, now you're a real painter. He like didn't do it well enough for 5 years, and then finally he got it, so it was like perfect. And
right, like the dude you mentioned,
you have to be able to like make like reproduce anything around you in painting, but then it's all about the ideas. And if your idea is that it's just like this field of orange represents a emotion or whatever, like
right.
So yeah, that's
and if you're established, I mean, it's just like movies or anything else. Like if you have a name already, you can get away with more experimental bullshit.
Yeah. So it's almost like you have to earn your you have to like be good enough to like if someone challenges how stupid your only orange painting is,
your lobster
like,
telephone.
Okay, and then you do something that's like completely genius and rip them a new one. It's kind of cool.
We saw we happened to catch a Picasso painting randomly that was on exhibit somewhere else, but we saw this Picasso. Oh no, I'm sorry, not Picasso. Vincent van Gogh. My bad.
Oh, the earless wonder.
Yes. So Vincent van Gogh had a couple of pieces in this one museum, and one of them was a portrait of this guy, and I'd have to look his name up, but it was a portrait of just a guy wearing a hat, and then like around the guy was kind of it was in the style of the classic Japanese watercolorings, where it's like very pale face people, like with the women with like the needle, like the chopsticks in their hair and all that stuff, and it was like surrounding this guy,
like so geishas or something.
Yeah, like geisha, like servants, exactly. And then so it was like it was Van Gogh in his style in the middle with the portrait of the guy, and then it was Japanese around it, and the plaque was like, "This is the guy that sold him his paint."
He painted this for the guy who sold him his paint.
Yeah, he hooked him up with good paint, and so he's like, "I'll draw you," and then he drew another style of like, "This is like the other shit that other people do with your cool paint."
Jesus, that's like, awesome, man.
It's actually sweet. I was like,
it's pretty cool.
I wonder how much it would be worth. I mean, it's not for sale, but it's like, how much would this be worth? Just like, he probably did it as like a favor to that dude. Just like, oh, this will be. He probably couldn't afford his paint.
He was like, look, if you front me this paint this month, man, I'll paint you something cool.
So walking around, it was funny. I was like, in Montmartre, I was walking up the stairs to the giant basilica that's at the top of the hill. For people who don't know, Montmartre, like, yeah, it's beautiful.
Montmartre Cathedral.
Maybe? It's the core. What is it? The Sacred Heart, Sacre-Cœur.
Sacre-Cœur.
Yeah, Sacre-Cœur. The Sacred Heart.
Love that.
And as I was walking up the stairs, I was like, dude, this is where John Wick shot 50 dudes. It's the stair fight in John Wick 4.
Oh, wow. There's 4 of them already?
Yeah.
Jesus.
4 is the last one.
Okay. Man, I have not been keeping up with my John Wick.
Spoiler alert, it ends at the Sacre-Cœur at the top of those stairs.
Does he find his dog?
Dude, he finds his dog and has sex with it. That's what he wanted the whole time. But then
in the middle of the act, his dog pulls a gun. and then he has to fight his dog.
Yeah, it is. That's the perfect ending to John Wick. He has to.
He's got to
fight
gunfight his dog.
They're
And
both.
he's like, I have become the bad guys now.
They're diving behind famous statues and works of art,
Just blowing up, like
shooting them.
Salvador Dali's lobster phone is just riddled with bullets. Fucking all these other really great works of art are just getting exploded.
The persistence of memory just catches on fire.
Oh yeah. Who did that one?
Dali.
Rodin. Persistent. Oh yeah.
The melty
I was
clock.
thinking of The Thinker. Sorry, not the persistence of memory.
I saw
That's
that too in Paris, by the way.
Oh yeah, you went to the Rodin Museum.
I went to Rodin, and dude, what a fucking psychopath.
Oh. I wasn't
not
expecting that one.
No, like, I don't know. His life was probably pretty normal back then, honestly. But his work, dude, look up The Gates of Hell. It's the wildest shit ever.
Gates of Hell.
Dude, he got commissioned to make the entrance, like the portal to a museum. And the museum never opened, but he worked on this shit for like 37 years. And
what?
It's literally it's like one of the first things he ever did. All of his sculptures that he ever did that are famous are on it. Like every single one. And like the Thinker is in the middle, and the Thinker is Dante, and the rest of it is the Divine Comedy, like surrounding, like that's all his shit. So his first thing was all of the work he ever did. It's like, what? Yes. And then so the Thinker is the top of it, and then someone like 24 years later was like, hey, could you make a big version of the Thinker from the top of your gate? And he was like, sure. And then he made the most famous sculpture ever.
I thought he was like, yeah, sure.
Dude, so he reproduced shit from his notebook from when he was like a teenager and in his 20s.
Whoa.
And then he never got successful until his 40s. And then he was just like, all right, I'll make big versions of all this shit. And then he did a bunch of like busts and things for famous people and generals, but it's wild. But there's also money
as an artist.
There's also like there was a room in this museum where the whole wall was just covered in hands. It was just different sculptures and different medium of different hands. And it was like, this is him just practicing left hands. Like, he's like, oh, I have a sculpture coming up. Like, so when you're going to do the Thinker, he's like, I got to practice his hand for like a long time because I'm cutting this shit out of one piece of material. And
yeah,
you cannot fuck his hand up. If you take one extra chisel mark, the skin is destroyed and you're fucked.
Yeah. It'll destroy the proportions and all that stuff. Like you can't, you got to be very meticulous with how much you're taking away from the stone. Wait, but is it in stone? I thought it was in bronze or something.
I think the Thinker is bronze. I think you're right about that. So like then his other one, the Kiss, where the two people are like wrapped around kissing, that's in marble, and their skin is like you get right up to it and you're like, it looks like skin. It's insane. You can see the muscles, like all the musculature underneath of it. Like the people look like they're going to start moving. It's the weirdest thing.
That is so awesome.
But like one extra chisel and you're fucked. You're like, what do you do? I guess you just go like, well, I'm going to use this piece of marble for something else.
Yeah. Like, you can't exactly patch marble.
No. Or you could be like, I have to shave off 1 millimeter from the entire thing until you're left with like a 4-inch tall sculpture.
Oh, that would be excruciating. Oh my God.
Dude, how many times did he just fucking spin kick one of his sculptures over because he was so pissed?
Hey, Rodin, why are you walking around with a cast? I got angry and karate spin kicked my marble sculpture and it broke my leg. That's why you on crutches, bro?
Dude. That would, yeah, the patience is nutty.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, I
I
mean, it
need
seems like he had plenty of time. Like
true.
when you're getting commissioned for like a big art piece, I bet it wouldn't be a huge deal for you to be like, I know I've been doing this for like a year. I'm gonna need another month because I messed up the hand or
Also,
whatever.
you don't get like, he didn't get distracted by like, dude, I'm gonna watch all 5 seasons of The Wire.
Yeah,
It's
that's
like
true.
there's
There
nothing to
wasn't
do.
there wasn't so much going on. You
They
just had
could,
to sit there
dude, they
and do it.
only drank and cheated on their wives and made art. Like that's all these guys did. They just went
Oh,
to parties all the time. That's
I
why I was like,
mean,
dude, it's
why
like
wouldn't you?
they're like, oh, this is where Dali stayed in Montmartre, and it's like, this is where he fucking drank absinthe and got in fights.
With all the other famous folk in Paris. Man, there's some like the whole like artist group the large number of artist groups that hung out in Paris at various different times and like were inspired there and crossbred like ideas with each other in all the cafes and bars and stuff. It's
Yeah,
awesome. It's
it
what
would
a cultural
really
like epicenter for most of like Western art. It's
yeah,
insane.
it would certainly be a fun time. It really reminds me of like the Truman Capote hanging out in New York. He's like, I wrote one book and now I'm just partying.
Yeah.
I'm
Well, I
going
mean,
to
dude,
party.
Hemingway, Gertrude Stein, the
Yeah,
dudes,
Fitzgerald.
yeah, F. Scott Fitzgerald, who I don't know, I guess he wrote he wrote The Great Gatsby, and then he like, isn't that his only novel? And he just like wrote short stories and published
Mate,
them or something.
you
Is
could be
that
right.
right?
I mean, Capote was the same way.
Yeah, In
He
Cold
wrote,
Blood was his big novel, and then he like wrote stuff
yeah,
for the New Yorker because they were like, yeah, we'll pay you enough that you can live on like just doing essays and short stories and stuff.
he wrote an essay about the people at the parties he was going to, and then the people at the parties were like, "You can't come to our parties anymore, you piece of shit." And he just became like a
Whoops.
horrible degenerate.
Yeah. You
Good
are
times.
you've been cast out.
Those accepting liberal parties where they cast you out if you say anything they don't like.
You're fabulous until you're not fabulous. You slay until you no longer slay.
Capote is abfab.
Absolutely.
Dude.
All right. So wait, where did we leave off? You were we went back to Paris, but
Oh,
you were in Switzerland.
okay, let's just do, hey dude, so let's cut to New Year's Eve. We walked down to the river. We had moved to the other side of Paris. We were like in the Eiffel Tower
Oh yeah,
neighborhood,
you were in the Eiffel Zone.
eiffelzone.com, and and my new website, check it out. And we walked down to the river for New Year's Eve. We were like, so all the festivities and fireworks happen at the Arc de Triomphe, where John Wick also killed a lot of people by throwing them into moving cars going around the circle.
Oh yeah, I
That
didn't see
scene
that one.
rules.
That's all in 4, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Dude, he fucks Paris up in 4.
dude. I think I saw the VFX breakdown of that because I watched that show.
Yeah, it was pretty wild.
Yeah, but
So we walked into the river with a bottle of champagne in our hands, and we were there next to people from America, China, Italy, looking all over, and we were chugging, just drinking champagne out of the bottle and we watched the fireworks go off from the arch.
yes.
That was pretty cool. I got fucking annihilated. Very hungover the next day to a degree, which was our final day in Paris was the next day. And
Oh
we were
no.
leaving the next morning. I was fucked up to where ate breakfast, and had to go directly back into bed. And my wife was none too pleased.
Yep.
So she went on a little walkabout by herself. But then she was like, "Hey, do you want me to swing by that sandwich place that Chris recommended?" And I was like, "Oh my God, that would be so great." And she was like, "Awesome. All right, I'm going to do that." She texts me back a little while later and she's like, "I've been in this line for 40 minutes and I am not inside the restaurant yet." And Chris didn't tell me it was literally the number one sandwich in Paris.
Oh,
She
no.
ended up waiting an hour and a half
Oh,
to
no.
take an Uber back with my sandwich. Your sandwich fucked me.
Oh,
He was pissed off.
yeah. I mean, so
Whoops.
okay. All right. Real quick, this sandwich shop, it is like a stone's throw away from Notre Dame.
Yeah.
It's called Chez Alain Miam Miam. Miam. It is a tiny. It's like the size of the room that I'm in.
Yes.
It's like this little
If you look at a
sandwich shop.
picture on the internet, it looks like a little deli. You'd walk right in, grab
you
your
just-
sandwich,
Just walk right in, grab your
bounce
sandwich.
out.
I mean, we were in line for like 2 minutes. It was nothing. I would have recommended if you saw any line larger than 10, 15 people, go somewhere else. I mean, it's great.
That was my suggestion after the first text.
Oh, but she sent you the text. She was already pot committed, man. 40 minutes is no. Yeah,
That's
she's like,
exactly
I'm fucking staying in this line
what
now.
happened.
I am 40 minutes in.
Yes.
I'm not leaving now.
She was committed.
Oh.
And I was like, no. I was like, just get out of there.
Just leave. Oh my God. Well,
If
okay.
only-
Well, this is better. Okay, even though she waited for an hour and a half, it's better than what I thought you were gonna say, because when I did go in there and I was like, I went up to the counter and the guy was just like, I was like, and I was like, s'il vous plaît, and he was like, just say it in English. And I was like, okay.
Yeah.
Thanks, man.
Je
I'll take the
parle
number
anglais.
4. Yeah, he was just like,
They're used to it.
he gave me the benefit of the doubt at first.
They let you try.
I was like, you thought I was French? No way.
They don't.
Yeah, they didn't. I was like, there's no possible way you thought that I was gonna be like, oh,
Dude,
You
when
know,
I'm
like,
there,
no, there's
I
no.
I can pick
no
out
way.
an American from down the street easily.
Of course,
It's crazy how easy it is once you're there.
yeah. I mean, like just the clothes alone.
Polo shirt,
they're wearing.
khakis, nailed it.
Yeah. Yeah, there's
a
no
beer belly?
way this guy. Yeah, I mean, well, I didn't have a beer belly. I mean, I was kind of fat, but I was.
I was 7 feet tall. They're like,
Yeah, there's
"You're the
no way
biggest
that this
dude
guy
here."
thought that I was French, and but he still was like, like,
Yeah, they
gave me
try.
the benefit of the doubt that I tried to learn one lick of French before I got into Paris. Which, I mean,
Just bring the sandwich, bozo. That's how you respond.
hey man, yeah, I'll take a number 4, extra cheese, extra meat. If you could call it a heart attack burger when you ring it up, that will make me feel more at home.
Y'all got
Okay.
Hellman's?
Yeah. I'll take some Duke's mayonnaise if you got it, man. Come on now.
Dude, they make their mayonnaise in store. Like, it's the best.
Oh,
I
mean,
hate mayonnaise
that's
here.
like,
It's
dude, the
good there.
ingredients, they're like, they've got
the
a
butter.
giant wheel of like raclette cheese.
There's
And
just a
they're like-
giant melty wheel of cheese.
It's
They
getting
scrape.
heated on top, and they're like
Ugh.
cutting off this melted cheese and sliding it onto your sandwich.
Dude,
And
it's
everything, it's just
insane.
so good. Their
So,
ingredients are.
I got a pastrami when she finally got this sandwich, I did get a pastrami with comté cheese and like lettuce, tomato, simple. But these are like hot sandwiches.
Yeah.
They're loaded with olive oil and whatever soup. Yeah, but dude, so she brought it back.
Oh,
And we silently took a few bites of our sandwiches.
You could cut the sandwich with the tension. Oh my God. I can't believe it. I have got to talk to her about her experience.
You could drop a French guillotine.
Dude, she's going to karate poke me right in the eyeballs when she sees me next time for suggesting that place.
So
oh God.
I then was just like, look, all things aside, this is a really good sandwich. It's one of the best sandwiches I've ever had.
Sandwich I've ever eaten. This is the best food I've ever tasted.
So I ate one of the best sandwiches of my life.
That's awesome.
With a heavy heart.
The hugest hangover in a Parisian hotel room.
Yes.
That was delivered by your wife who was seething with anger.
Yep. You summed up the end of our trip.
Wow. Really painted a picture there. That's great.
And then a 12-hour plane ride.
Oh, good. Good.
So, thank you, Shaylon Myom Myom. You frog face.
Why don't they franchise it out so the lines are shorter? Come on. Americanize this thing.
Oh my
wow.
God. So so it's because of this that it's dry January time. I'm back on the no sauce.
Yep.
Woo!
Damn.
How was your New Year's?
My New Year's was great. I started my dry January a couple days early. I didn't even drink on New Year's.
That's pretty smart, actually.
I mean,
I drank. Yeah. Okay. This is good. Cause
yeah. I mean, so to anybody listening, if you couldn't tell, Matt and I, we like to party. We like to have fun. We like to goof off. We like to drink hot wine walking around Christmas markets. We like to.
Yeah.
We've done shots of whiskey at 3 a.m. at a bar that has been closed. The bartender just lets us stay in.
Of course.
We like to drink and be merry.
I love having a great time. I fucking love it.
There's something about having a great time. I like to have a great time at about 6 a.m. I get up and I have my first slug off of the whiskey bottle next to my bed. We're responsible humans, but we were having a Christmas party at my house.
Yes.
And I was like a little sauced. It was a few days after Christmas, but it was like the 28th or something. Oh. And all of my wife's family was here at our house.
Christmas to New Year's, and if there's family, drinking is permissible whenever.
Yeah. And so I was like, I had been drinking a little bit before the party started. And then I was like, of course. All right, so I had some beers and I was getting a little like, and then I have nicotine pouches. And I was like, I need some nicotine pouches, and I popped open my little container, and there were none in it. So I got in my car and drove over to the corner store.
Perfect.
And then when I was coming back, there were so many cars parked in our driveway that I was like, I'm not going to back my car into my usual spot. So I just pulled over. My neighbor was there at his house, like watching football with his buddies and hanging out. So I just like parked over there and went in and hung out with him and was like this on his couch for like a couple hours during the Christmas party.
Oh no.
Like a complete dumbass idiot.
Dude, you abandoned your family for
Yeah.
the football team.
She was texting me and calling me. She's like, "Where did you go, man?
Oh,
What's the deal?"
no.
And I was like, "Oh shit!" And like 10 o'clock at night, he's like, "Hey, man, you
10
good?"
at night.
Like, I'm like, "Oh fuck!"
Oh,
I come home. She's like, "What the fuck is going?" I was like, "Sorry,
oh.
babe. I don't know what to tell you." So yeah, needless to say, I fucked up like a big dumb goose.
Dude, it
And
wouldn't be the holidays without
yeah, happy holidays, hun.
making your wife salty.
Yeah. So I'm like, you know what?
Oh,
You know what?
no.
That's pretty stupid, and I don't need to drink that much. And yeah, so I was like, you know what? I'm just not
That
going to
was
drink for
when-
a while.
Good call. Dude. Oh, I did leave out. Oh my God. I can't believe I forgot about this detail. I left out a whole day.
Oh yeah.
I forgot that it wasn't the sandwich incident wasn't the day after New Year's. It was 2 days after.
Oh yeah, because I was going to say that the timeline you just got back.
Yeah. So
It's January 5th today.
Yes, we bank these people if you can't tell.
Yeah, you guys are going to be listening to this in February something.
So the day after I was so fucked up, I was like, I just want a Guinness to feel better. And this was when the major mistake began.
Oh boy.
I went to I found an Irish pub in the Eiffel Tower district.
Yeah,
And
you
I
did.
walked in there.
The
and
Irish, man.
and there was an Irish woman bartending and some English dudes in there. And a woman in her 60s from Texas with a Texas Longhorn sweater on, and the game just began when I walked in. And I was like,
oh boy.
well, I'll pull for the Texas Longhorns with this lady. I got fucking soused again. Woo! That was the
You got soused.
that was the beginning
no.
of the end. So that was the true
Yeah.
beginning of the end. The next day was when I woke up like, why did I fucking do that 2 days in a row? Then that was sandwich day. So yeah.
Okay. So sandwich day wasn't the day after New Year's. It was after, and you
I hung out with a woman from Texas and got fucked.
Where was your wife?
She was back at the hotel room recovering from New Year's.
Oh,
So she also had a day of just
okay.
recovery.
Well, that's yeah. All right.
But the Longhorns won.
Oh, good.
And there were other Texans in there who were pulling for the other team, and they were pissed. And
What?
the woman, dude, this place was full of
Who was it? It was the Longhorns versus what? I just burped. Versus A&M or
no, it wasn't
I don't
A&M, but it was some other fucking bullshit. I can't even remember.
who cares?
I don't follow sports.
Yeah, I don't know college football for shit.
I like good games.
Texas Longhorns. Yeah, it's fun to watch the games, especially if someone's got skin in the game.
It was the Chick-fil-A
like,
Bowl.
Texas versus Arizona State.
It was Arizona State, but the other people were from Texas too, and they were pulling for the Longhorns' defeat. They were probably A&M fans.
But that's probably it. Yeah, so they were from Texas, but they were A&M fans, and they were going for the team that was not the Longhorns because
it didn't make the bowl game.
Yeah, because Texas defeated Texas A&M on November 30th.
Oh, there you go.
17-7. I just looked it up.
Perfect. Wow, dude, this is just like ESPN. This is so cool.
Hey guys, welcome to ESPN. By the way, our show today is brought to you by ESPN 69. That's right.
Sponsor.
The 69th ESPN channel is got you covered. They have international cricket. They have darts. They have international chug fest.
Super
I'm running out of steam on this fake ad real quick.
The hair growing festival. The toenail clipping symposium.
The International Whittling Championships.
The tree climbing championship brought to you by T-Mobile.
The International Bombing Championships brought to you by Lockheed Martin. There was by the way, speaking of college football, there was whatever it was, like the Freedom Bowl or some shit, some new one brought to you by Lockheed Martin, and they had
No
Lockheed
way.
Martin spray painted on the field, like the logo for Lockheed Martin, and the guys were playing
That's
football on it.
Not even a
It was-
product you can buy.
It was no, like, yeah, let me just go on down to Home Depot and buy some Lockheed Martin stuff. It was like, no, it was just pure military propaganda. It was
hilarious.
insane. Like,
I mean,
dystopian shit. Like,
what do you think the
gross.
Blue Angel flyover is?
Yes, I mean all of football. Like, I mean, we worked on that Marines commercial that ran for the Super Bowl for like 5 years in a row.
Oh
The
yeah,
one the one at we shot on Paris Island with those guys.
Yes.
Were you there? Yeah,
yes,
you were
and the air base.
Oh wait, that's right.
That was.
I worked on the original one. You worked on a second one.
That's what it was.
I think that's what it was.
Because I worked on Paris Island and the air base down in Beaufort, South Carolina, where I filmed the F-35 Lightning II.
Marines commercials. Yeah, dude. That one that I worked on, the original, like, it ran for like 5 years. I was seeing it in, like, we shot it in 2007 or 8, and it ran like the military propaganda and football machine is it's very tightly wound.
Well, competition's good. I mean, isn't that what all sports is? Represents war.
Yeah, it represents going to battle. And who watches it? People who are like, I don't know, man. I guess I could join the military. That commercial looked pretty cool. Those guys look like badass studs.
Dude, you're an army of one.
Yeah. Oh God. What a bizarre motto for them to have for so
literally
long.
The opposite of what the army is.
Yeah. If you were an army of one, the war would be over very quickly.
He lost to Sweden immediately. Yeah. One guy ran in there and 3 Swedish dudes beat his ass.
Yeah. It's like, I don't understand.
The commercials used to be the guy fighting the dragon on top of the mountain. That was the shit.
Yes. Oh, that was late 90s. Cool, like crappy CGI, just like bizarre, like yeah. You joined the elite dragon fighting unit. Like, what?
I think the dragon fighting one may have been a Marine commercial. I want to say.
Imagine the like the cognitive dipshittery that has to be going on in your head.
You're sitting in your trailer.
If you're like, okay, I will join the army because they're selling individualism, an army of one, with the idea, like, the army itself is a logistical organization.
Yeah,
you have to have like
the most logistics.
Yeah, like 90% of, or maybe not 90, but like whatever, a huge significant percentage of people who join the army, you go through basic and all that stuff, but you're like a cook or a truck driver or a refueling person or a mechanic, or like there are so many different things that have to happen in order for people to have like viable equipment to go and drop a bomb on someone or whatever. Like,
yes,
like, it's mostly logistics.
It's mostly logistics. There's so much bureaucracy. It's like, even like World War II, it's like the opening scene of just like a room with 100 women typing death certificates, like that's the opening of Private Ryan. And it's just like, it's just a bureaucratic.
I forgot about that.
Massive undertaking.
Yeah.
Anyways, yeah, it's so funny. Although I did watch, working on a military commercial, I did watch 2 20-year-olds load a C-17 and then take off in it in like 2 minutes. It was wild. Because it's like, one of them is driving the cargo loader, and they pull up to the back of the C-17, and that giant container just slides off onto this rolling rack. The whole C-17 is empty. It's just a huge cargo bay. It just rolls right in, and then they just like one kid locks it down and then can shut the door and get in the cockpit and just fly off. And he can do it in no time. It's crazy.
That is absolutely nuts.
But yeah, we had one of those crash down in Beaufort a year or two ago.
Really?
C-17, because they didn't
Secure the load?
Yeah, they didn't secure the load.
Yeah.
And it flew to the back of the plane.
Yeah, if it shifts while you're taking off, you are fucked. There are a couple of different like plane crash videos of like when the load shifts inside a big cargo aircraft.
It goes down tail first.
Recover, and your aircraft stalls, and you will go down with the plane. It's so
a
scary.
C-17, you cannot eject from a C-17.
Nope.
There's no way out of that motherfucker.
Yeah. Oh, that's the scariest thought. Just being like, we're going down. Oh, yeah. No.
Our bro, John Cater, who was and is a Marine, shout out John Cadies.
Johnny C.
Cater said when he was done with his tour overseas, he said, I think he was in a C-17 coming from Germany back to America. And he was like, that was one of the scariest plane rides ever. He goes like, I am 100% this plane's going down because I just survived like the war. He's just like, there's no way I'm gonna make it.
Oh god, I'm in the back of a cargo plane. Holy shit.
And just like, I mean, just the paranoia of like, God, it would suck if I made it this far.
Yeah.
And then
the pitiful irony of dying in a fucking plane crash on my way back from war.
Oof.
Oh,
that would be so stupid. Live, die, repeat. He's the live, die, repeat the entire war, his whole tour.
Dude. Oh.
Clean that toilet again. God damn it. Every time. It's like not funny.
Shit. Yeah.
He doesn't become a better soldier. He just cleans the toilet better.
The toilet better.
Sorry, Cater.
Like,
I know you're listening to this, you piece of shit.
Hey, Cater. Nice dick. Oh man, that's insane. So back to you partied with the Longhorn lady. They won. It was crazy.
That was just
you got wasted.
Yeah, that was pretty.
What did you guys do that night? Did she recovered and you got shit faced?
No,
you got back.
No, that was it. we fucking blew it. Or I blew it. Me and fucking Shay Elaine.
Oh man, yeah, she was because that's got to be the most horrifying thing to do when you're hungover is wait in a line for an hour and a half.
I apologize profusely for that. And now I'm just drinking coffee.
Sober as a judge, drinking coffee. Well, it's 8 o'clock a.m. for me now.
Yeah, dude, I think we're right at an hour, pretty much.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah, I think we did it. So I learned nothing.
Me neither.
I'm in a beef with John Cater now.
Yep, you guys, man, it's like East Coast, West Coast rap with you guys, man. You're gonna be in the headlines soon.
I love that no one else knows who that is.
Yeah,
my favorite part, dude. John Cater. Everyone follow John Cater.
Dude, follow Johnny C.
He's
John Cater,
a guy that we're friends with.
Hey, hey, you know those two guys that have a podcast? They have a friend, and they're beefing with him right now.
I hope this makes the trades.
Yeah, man. Oh, Variety's going to be all over it.
Well, hey, dude, let's get out of here.
All right. That sounds great. I'm yawning and stretching. Oh, big day today.
Dude, I can't wait to visit more places where John Wick killed people in the future.
Oh, dude. Oh, we got to go on a John Wick world tour.
I think in a couple of years I actually am going to go to Osaka, Japan, and he does kill people in a hotel there.
It's in a hotel. Did they really go to Osaka? Couldn't they just double any hotel for an Osaka hotel?
No, I think they actually went because why wouldn't you? Let's go to Japan.
They have no shortage of cash, and Keanu Reeves was just like, yeah, I could go on a vacation to Japan. That would be great.
I like Japan. It's cool.
I like Japan. It's pretty cool. I'll shoot guns there. He's a badass with guns. Oh, he's so good.
He is a super badass.
I'm actually going to the shooting range today with my buddy Mike.
What?
We're gonna go shoot some 9mm.
Nice, dude.
Pop off some rounds.
Dude, you should roll on the ground and come up on one knee and fucking shoot.
Dude, I will immediately get kicked out.
Everyone in the gun range would fucking turn on you.
It's gonna be like, dude, you are a loose cannon. Literally, do not do that shit.
Dude, what if you pulled out a gun at the gun range and you went, all right, everybody, give me all your fucking guns.
A man was shot today for being a dumbass.
A man was shot by 27 men.
He went to a place where everyone hopes that someone pulls a gun on them and they have to have a fucking Wild West showdown.
Yeah.
That is the absolute worst place to try to flex your your gun holding skills, your aim. Jeez.
Oh my God.
Ridiculous.
Well, have fun, dude. So
thanks.
From France back to America where we can shoot fucking guns,
Just
baby.
Gun time, boys. Woo!
All right. Well, have fun at the range.
Thanks, man.
I'll see you guys later.
Yeah, thanks for hanging out with us, everybody. Love you, Perry.
Love you, buddy.
They're still smooching, they're still kissing around the clock and every day. They're still pecking, they're still necking with their cocks because they are gay.